你的中文发音可能挺糟糕的，但这真不是你的错。Over the last 13 years or so, I've personally coached hundreds of learners, taught thousands more through our courses, free and paid programs, and I've identified 3 major pronunciation issues. And today I'm going to show you the proven solutions that work for anyone, even if you've been stuck for months or years. And if you'd like to dive deeper and get live training from me, as well as a bunch of training materials, click the link in the description below to join our free course and community. So let's dive into the first problem, which is pronouncing Chinese like English. Now, even if English isn't your native language, this happens to almost everyone. Why? Because Chinese uses pinyin, which is based on the English alphabet, and it's natural to want to pronounce it like English, especially if you haven't been trained properly or don't use the right practice techniques. And the result, you form bad habits that are pretty hard to break. So this issue is most obvious with sounds that don't exist in English at all. I call these the problem initials, these ones. Now, many learners will hear these sounds spoken by a native speaker and imitate them as best they can. They won't sound native, but they can become pretty accurate. But many learners, for whatever reason, have less of an ear for pronunciation and can take longer time to produce them accurately. And so they try to use the closest English pronunciation they know based on the spelling. The result, well, these sounds, sound okay, but just not native. More like The Chinese R sound comes out sounding like the English R sound, which sounds really bad. So saying ren instead of ren, for example. The J, the Q, and the X, the G, T, C come out sounding like the ZH, the CH, and the SH. Or S. So, for example, 出去 might come out sounding like 出处, like you're imitating a train. 学校, school, might come out sounding like 学校 or 学校, something like that. The Z and the C sounds can also trip people up. Z is often pronounced more like a long buzzing when it's actually more explosive. Same with the C. It's a tss sound, not a s hissing S sound. So instead of saying 汉字, Chinese characters, people might say Han, or even sometimes Hanzi. More on that weird yi sound in a sec. Now, these problem initials cause people a lot of pain to figure out, but actually it's just 3 different tongue positions that you need to get used to pronounce all of them like a native speaker. So position number 1 is for the ZH, CH, SH, and R sounds. So the first position is your tongue is slightly up towards the roof of your mouth. Now, not too much where you're like choking yourself with your tongue, but you just take your normal tongue position when you make the sh sound in English and to just slightly lift your tongue and then just try and keep it there throughout the entire sound. So you can hear how the sound of the air coming from my mouth does change if I do this. So it goes from so it's a slight lift, and that makes it sound Chinese. Now, tongue position number 2 is for the Z and C sounds. So your tongue goes behind your top teeth. So it's explosive, so it kind of blocks the air behind your top teeth, and then it sort of lets it explode out a little bit. So not it's not a long buzz, it's an explosive sound for both of them. And then finally, position number 3 is behind your bottom teeth, just here. So for these, just say G or chi or she, but you just have your tongue behind your bottom teeth and it just comes out sounding Chinese. Ji, qi, xi. 3 positions, that's it. And the key to this is, again, to keep your tongue in place until the sound is over. This kind of feels weird for us English speakers because with English, and I'm sure many other languages too, the tongue kind of moves around and so do the lips as you talk. Whereas in Chinese, with many of the sounds, you sort of lock them in position until the entire sound is done and your lips and your mouth muscles aren't moving throughout the entire sound. So for example, watch my mouth when I say the English word throughout, right? My lips are just going all over the place, right? Now watch me say some common Chinese words. 出去,知道,机器, right? So it's like fixed in each position. The tongue is like 机器, right? It's just fixed in position. My lips are barely moving, imperceptibly moving throughout the entire word. And that's kind of weird to get used to at first. Now, another really confusing thing related to these problem initials that causes people to make pretty bad pronunciation mistakes is what I call the fake I. So after Z, C, S, and ZH, CH, SH, and R, you'll see here on the pinyin chart that they are spelt with an I on the end, but they're not pronounced G or she. They're pronounced zhi, chi, shi, and zi, ci, si, right? So that sound, that sound, is just not the I sound that you'll see in the other I spellings here. It's not pronounced with an E sound. And the reason why is that these sounds technically have no final, but the guy who invented pinyin just put them here because, hey, I mean, English has only got 26 letters to work with. I guess it sounds the most like I of any other vowel sound here, so I'm just going to put them in the I section. That was it. It's totally understandable on his side, but it does trip up some beginners. And of course, there are lots of other oddities about pinyin that trip people up, like the ENG sound. It's not pronounced eng, it's pronounced ng. And this M-A-N-G is not pronounced mang, it's pronounced mang. This is yen, not yan. And the U-A-N in C-H-U-A-N and Q-U-A-N are completely different. It's chuan versus chuan, and the UN in chun versus the UN in dun are clearly pronounced very different as well. The O in bopomorpho is actually a UO. It's not bopomorpho, it's bopomorpho. And unless you're from Germany or Sweden, you probably don't know how to pronounce the umlaut U very well. By the way, if you don't know how to do it very well, here's a quick trick that solves it instantly. Just put your tongue behind your bottom teeth, the same exact position we use for ji, qi, and xi, and you'll pronounce it pretty much perfectly. And the main reason why people make all these mistakes and have this confusion, they just don't understand how pinyin works. And so really the solution is simple. First, learn pinyin properly once and for all. Focus on some theory. It's a one-time investment, a few hours, that's it. We have a complete pronunciation training on YouTube, along with a 10-hour paid course and tons of free materials in our free community. Again, link in the description. So feel free to check all that stuff out. And also feel free to refer back to it now and then if you forget certain details. But once you've grasped the theory, and this is really important, focus on practicing the pronunciation in the right way. Your results are going to come 95% from the practice you put in and around 5% from the theory. But don't worry, I'll show you exactly how to practice and what to practice with in just a minute. Now, the second major problem I see with my clients regarding pronunciation is over-pronunciation. And this shows up in a couple of different ways. The first one I've seen, is really common, is pronouncing tones just like you're singing. Now, this is actually quite hard to avoid because, first off, when you're not used to a tonal language, tones really do kind of sound like people are singing at first. In fact, I've also got some blame here because the training that I just told you to watch on YouTube, actually, I do in that training refer to the first tone as the singing tone. But here's the problem. When you actually think that tones are singing and you go to sing the sounds, you do sound weird to native speakers and it feels very unnatural for you. So go watch this clip I found of John Cena speaking Mandarin on some talk show and you'll see this in action.
Okay, so we'll try something. Here we go.
Really?
你好，我是 John Cena。他是我的朋友 Jimmy Fallon。Jimmy Fallon 工作是主持人的在电视节目名字 The Tonight Show。
So John's got this really deep, tough voice, but when he speaks Mandarin, it goes way up, right, outside his normal vocal range. And that's what overpronunciation looks like. Now, the second way that I see my clients overpronounce, and I was massively guilty of this too, is over-exaggerating tongue positions. So for example, curling your tongue back so far for the zhi, chi, shi that you're almost choking yourself. Another example is moving your lips and mouth around way too much, just like we do in English. And in English, we move our lips a lot, as I said earlier, when we talk, right? But again, a lot of Chinese sounds, they don't require that lip or mouth movement at all, such as the sound and the ji, qi, xi, zhi, qi, shi sounds. So for example, 几点了 or 你想吃啥? What do you want to eat? Like, I hardly move my lips at all, right? So when speaking Chinese, try and stay relaxed. Try not to overexert your mouth too much. The sooner you start relaxing your mouth muscles, the easier it will be to speak Chinese at speed. Because when you overpronounce, it becomes almost impossible to maintain accurate sounding Chinese at speed or for any length of time because it's such a physical strain. And like I said, I used to do this one a lot. When I would go to say individual sounds or words, I would sound very accurate, even impressive sometimes. But when I would go to say entire phrases or multiple sentences in a row, using lots of these problem initials in a row, I just wouldn't know how to handle it. I would often trip up and I would sound very silly. Phrases like 这件事情 or 截止日期之前, right? That was just impossible for me to say before. So why does this happen, this over-pronunciation? Well, I found that it's for two reasons. So first, Chinese is so different from English that we feel like we have to act Chinese when we speak. And so just like actors can overact, we often overpronounce. The second reason is that tutors, when they teach you Chinese, often over-enunciate when teaching, but don't then show you how to actually develop natural-sounding Chinese at speed later on. So I'll walk you through how to fix this step by step in just a sec. But first, let's cover the final major pronunciation challenge I see as a coach. I'm talking about the tone, right? Tones are the part of Chinese that seem to scare people away the most, that and the writing system. And yes, tones are challenging, but not for the reasons that you might think. The biggest problem, in fact, isn't getting the third tone right or tone change rules. It's that most learners just make up tones as they go because they can't remember them at speed. So even intermediate learners struggle to hear tones in real speech, let alone produce them. And even if you get the basics, you probably don't know how to use intonation, sentence stress, or natural rhythm on top of getting the tones right as well. So for example, take the sentence 我是一个人, I am one person, or I am alone. Now, depending on which part of this sentence you stress, the meaning and implication changes. So for example, 我是一个人, that means I'm alone, then someone else might not be, just me. 我是一个人. It's like you're emphasizing or correcting someone to say, yes, I am one person, I am alone. And you could also emphasize 我是一个人, I am one person, as if maybe you got beaten up by 3 people, for example. You'll say, hey, I was just one of me. How could I expect to win a fight against 3 people? Or you could emphasize the 人, 我是一个人, I'm a human being, I'm a person, I have feelings too. So native speakers kind of do all this naturally, but us learners, we rarely stress anything, sounding like robots, or we stress the wrong part, which just sounds unnatural. So those are the major issues I see with pronunciation. Let's get to the solutions. So now I'm going to break down for you the 3-pillar solution to pretty much all pronunciation problems. Pillar number 1 is foundation, right? So first you need to understand the basics of how Chinese sounds work. That's the theory. Not exciting, but it is necessary for many learners, and it speeds up progress for everyone, avoids forming unnecessary bad habits, and can save you a ton of pain and suffering in the future. And once you've got an idea of the theory, move on. Don't obsess over it by rewatching videos about how to pronounce Chinese in theory all day. The foundation gives you the map, but you learn the terrain by actually walking it, which brings us to pillar number 2, massive input. So this is where we get into practice, where most of your results are going to actually come from, right? So your goal is at least 1 hour a day of comprehensible listening. Comprehensible means you understand ideally way above 80%, more like 95 to 98% at least of what you're hearing. This could be example sentence with audio, it's best for beginners, graded readers with audio, learner podcasts, and then eventually native content once you're advanced enough. And when you hear thousands of example sentences of Chinese sounds in context, your brain automatically forms robust sound categories. And that's going to solve problems like confusing the N and the NG endings, the qin versus qing, and you'll be able to start hearing the tones more accurately, understanding the natural rhythm and sentence flow, understanding different speakers with different accents. The key is variety here. So as your level grows, begin to add different speakers, male, female, different ages, different contexts, more formal, more casual, more emotional, neutral, different speeds, slow, normal, fast. This trains your ear to recognize Chinese sounds all in their natural variations. Oh, and if you don't know enough words yet so that you can actually have a chance at understanding any of this stuff and actually getting comprehensible input, well then that should be your first step, is learning at least the most common 1,000 common words in the language, ideally learning their characters as well. And I just said find an hour of listening, and if you say to yourself, I do not have time for an hour of listening, make the time. Find the gaps in your day when you're on the way to work, when you're at work, don't get fired, when you're at the gym, when you're traveling pretty much anywhere, commuting. Spend some time preparing listening materials regularly, get some earbuds, and listen as much as you can whenever it's convenient for you. This is going to make such a massive difference over the mid to long term. So these first 2 pillars, you could say, are the foundational steps. And this third one is where your pronunciation actually gets fixed, actually starts to sound like a native speaker. So pillar number 3 is high rep output. So input trains your ear, output trains your mouth. There are two main techniques, listening and repeating and shadowing. So let me break down both in detail. So listening and repeating is the foundation of pronunciation practice. Here's how it works. It's really simple. You play a sentence, you pause it, you repeat it out loud. And you try and match the speed, the tone, the emotion exactly. Do at least 3 reps per sentence, but 5 to 10 reps is ideal. 3 reps is not quite enough to see a major difference within that single session. But if you do at least 5 reps, you'll notice that the 5th rep is always way better than the first rep. And then if you do that every day with as many sentences as you can for a fixed amount of time or spread it out throughout your day, you will see huge gains in your pronunciation and your tones. No one does this though because it's kind of boring, right? It's repetitive, but it's what makes your Chinese sound awesome. And it's pretty simple. So remember earlier when I mentioned I had real trouble saying phrases like 截止日期之前 or 这件事情, I fixed it by saying them out loud over and over again. So I couldn't say it at a certain speed. I said it slower and slower until I could say it accurately. And then I repeated and repeated, gradually increasing the speed at which I would say it until I said it roughly native speed. And it's just that simple. Think about it like learning a musical instrument. You don't play a song once and move on. You practice the same piece over and over again until your fingers know it automatically. Chinese pronunciation is the same. Language learning is a physical process, right? So we've got to get those reps in. Now, once you're comfortable with listening and repeating, you're going to level up to shadowing. Shadowing is very similar. It just means speaking along with the audio in real time, kind of like you're singing along to a song, but with a slight lag. Okay, this is harder than listening and repeating because you don't have real time to think. You just have to produce the sounds automatically as you're hearing them. And this is going to be super tough at first, but you can do this in stages. So here's a 3-phase system that you can try out. So phase 1 is where you have the text, either the pinyin or preferably the actual characters. Ideally, you can actually understand the Chinese characters of what you're hearing. You read along as you listen to the audio and gradually repeat until you can understand and also speak out loud roughly the same time, imitating the speaker. This is going to be awesome for your overall language ability because you're going to be able to connect the sounds to the written text as well. You're reading, listening, and speaking all at once. So it's going to improve all those 3 areas of your skill set. You just do this until you can keep up with the audio comfortably. You can start off at 80% speed and then gradually increase to 100%. Now, once you're familiar enough with the materials or your general skill level is just high enough where you can do it without the text, you can then move on to phase 2, which is blind shadowing. So no text, just your ears, right? You play the audio and speak along, trying to match it exactly. This is harder. You will stumble, you'll fall behind, that's absolutely fine. That feeling of frustration, that struggle, that's where the learning happens. So do this until you can shadow the entire sentence or an entire audio file full of sentences without looking. Now, phase 3 is an optional phase, and you only need to do this if you're finding that your progress with phases 1 and 2 is just a little bit slow, or you doubt that you actually got accurate pronunciation and you need some feedback. So what you can do is record yourself saying a sentence or a series of sentences, ideally multiple times, and then play it back alongside the native speaker and listen carefully. Hear exactly where your tones are off, where your rhythm is wrong, maybe where you're adding pauses that shouldn't be there. This immediate feedback is really gold. And as an extra step, you can send this recording to a native speaker, a friend, or a tutor that you pay, anyone at all, and get their feedback. So pillar 1, foundation. Learn pinyin basics and tongue positions, maybe 2 to 5 hours of theory study. The second pillar is 1 hour or more of daily comprehensible listening. Varied speakers, varied context, and 95 to 98% comprehension ideally. Find the gaps in your day and listen as much as you can. Pillar number 3, high rep output, listening and repeating, 5 to 10 reps per sentence, shadowing, speaking along with the audio in real time, minimum 5 minutes a day, ideally 10, 15 minutes or more daily of focused practice. Do all 3 of these consistently and your pronunciation will improve dramatically. Not necessarily overnight, but within days or weeks, you will notice a big difference. And within months, you'll sound like a different person entirely. And just remember a couple of key things. First of all, you never need to get to perfect pronunciation. Most native speakers, seriously, never get there anyway. So there's no point aiming for that. Second of all, pronunciation is not talent. It's not about having an ear for languages. It's about correct practice method plus volume. Anyone can achieve clear, natural Mandarin pronunciation. You just need the right system. Speaking of the right system, the very next logical step for you is to learn to read Chinese so you can build your comprehension. And luckily, this is another specialty of ours. So check out this video next, where I teach you how to read Chinese sentences without pinyin in just a few minutes.